And welcome back. We appreciate you spending some time with us here on this Sunday afternoon, talking about Clare's Day, the 12th annual event coming up on May 18th, Saturday, May 18th, out at the Toledo Lucas County Public Library branch in Maumee. And I'm here with Brad Rabini and also Heather Galland. Thank you so much, both of you from Clare's Day, joining us. Brad, 12 years putting this on, and there's been such passion behind it, even from year one all the way to 12 years later. What is it that keeps you guys putting this on, making this day so special for kids?
It just gave me goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
We took tragedy and made something good out of it. And what we see with the children and all the happy, smiling faces brings us back to our memories of our Clare.
Yeah.
And
you lost your daughter at 10 years old.
At 10 years old, and how it became a reading event, she started reading to me at 7 because I'm dyslexic, and she took the book away from me. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we give these reading awards to children, and this year we have over 450, 420.
Yeah.
Seeing them picking up a book afterwards and reading it by a tree and smiling and knowing that they can read now is just an incredible feeling.
I don't know if reading playground is a good definition, but essentially that's what the lawn of the Maumee branch becomes. In the years past, just keeping our fingers crossed for sunny weather, a beautiful day, but out there you have tents set up, you have displays, you have numerous authors who you guys are going through an extensive process to bring in here.
Actually, we just went through that process for the 2014 authors. We look at a lot of different components when we look at inviting our authors. We look at things such as, first of all, are they from the Midwest? We try to find authors that are within a reasonable driving distance to Toledo. We want to make sure also that we're staying local. That's one of the values of our organization, is that we look for local sponsors, we look for local authors and illustrators to come to the event. We also look for authors that are representing a variety of genres, a variety of age levels, that appeal to a lot of different kids, so that we do have a lot of different, are appealing to a lot of different people.
This is a chance for parents to show up with their kids, get out there on the lawn, go into the library for all intents and purposes, but really just rediscover, is that it? Rediscover the love of reading?
Love of reading, enjoying, family time.
Yeah.
There's no cost. There's a lot of benefits. There's just happy people all over the place.
Yeah.
And where do you find that?
Yeah, I want to run through some of the specifics of what Clare's Day has done over the years, but first I want to bring in Elizabeth Rahm. She is joining us via Skype this afternoon. She is in North Dakota. Now, Heather just got done saying we look for those authors. You are part of this Clare's Day coming up. We look for those authors who are Midwest, but you actually had roots in Ohio. Now you've gone west on us, but you are coming back. Elizabeth, talk about why events like this, from an author's perspective, are so essential.
I think kids get more and more excited about reading when they experience books close up. And as an author, I want to get kids excited the way I am about books, and also excited about research because I write nonfiction. So hopefully kids will get excited about reading, but also about learning more in general about the world they live in, and maybe doing some research and writing on their own.
You know, Heather talks a lot about the trying to fill all these different genres when they bring the authors in. I'm looking at a little bit of your biography here, and it says you have written everything from stories on dragons, stories on storm chasing, and stories on the history of toilets.
Needless to say, that's a very, very popular book, especially with third-grade boys.
Just the do's and the don'ts, I'm assuming at this point. When you are putting together your books, Elizabeth, and you think about children in mind, do you write it from a child's perspective? Do you go back in your own childhood memories, or are you writing it from an adult's perspective? What is more helpful?
I'm of course researching as an adult, but I'm thinking, what details will excite children? And for instance, in the book about toilets, I have a picture of a 12-seater ancient toilet. That gets kids excited to see how people used to live in the past. So I look for those details that'll catch a child's excitement. And the more of those I can find, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Brad, we were talking about that wide-eyed look before we came on today that the kids get when they're walking around. What do you notice? What do you take away from these days the most?
I don't know if that's a fair question. Fond memories?
Well, I guess let's come up with some of the best memories walking away from this event over the past couple of years.
Well, I deal so much with the reading awards that it takes a while for me to get up, and I escape and get to see 10 minutes or so. But it's really neat when one of our past, Will Clay, unfortunately he passed away. He was at every Claire's Day. The kids would start out sitting in their seats. Within 5 minutes, they're at his feet, just looking, and Will's got them totally captivated and in a trance. It just, the energy is incredible, and then I have to go scoot off and give reading awards again, so I only get little snippets of everything.
Heather keeps talking. You brought up the reading awards. Since 2001, we've got this graphic to show people at home. Claire's Day has awarded over 1,800 CARE awards, as you guys call them, hosted 83 authors and illustrators, because it's also about art out there as well, we failed to mention, but and donated $27,500 to the Library Legacy Foundation. So this is about awareness, but it's also about trying to instill a legacy project, more or less.
Absolutely. Our mission really is to encourage a love of reading lifelong for all people. We focus a lot on children because we think that's where it should start. But we do that in a variety of ways. We have the book festival, we also do school visits, and we give these CARE awards to children who are the most improved readers in their class as nominated by their teachers. So
Claire's Awards for Reading Excellence.
That's right.
It's an acronym there.
That's right, the CARE awards. And these awards really mean the world to the children that receive them, because these are children that usually don't receive academic accolades. And so to be able to, as Brad said, to be able to really recognize those kids that have worked really hard this year, and their teachers say, yes, this is the child in my class that has been working the hardest and has improved their reading scores the best. That's what we're looking for with the Claire's Reading Award. So it's more, we do the book festival, but it's more than that. It goes beyond that.
Elizabeth, talk to me. As a teacher, I've had a couple of moments where it's gratifying. You see that you've really connected with kids that you're trying to get a lesson to. But as an author, what's been some of those moments, or what is the one moment that has really stood out for you where your book, your words have really resonated with a youngster?
Well, I love doing school visits and meeting kids firsthand, because I think if I can get them excited, and that often happens in a school visit, you know, I will start by, or I'll actually end by saying, how many of you like to read? And when those kids raise their hands, they're making a commitment. They love to read, and I hope they will keep that forever. You know, if they get interested now, we're creating lifelong learners, and that's the great thing about Claire's Day.
Brad, as you guys put together yet another Claire's Day event, 12th annual, and you look at all of the participation, it's got to warm your heart to know that you guys can ask and somebody's going to say, yeah, I'll be there.
It does, and I'm gonna have to go back to what you asked the earlier question. I was at a school one year and they introduced me, and then the author did its thing, and then they brought up the kids that were getting the reading awards and introduced them and congratulated them. The students all stood and gave them a standing O. They know the kids that are struggling and improving, and the self-esteem, the building of the, I guess that's what I really like. I mean, we all take paths in life, and we could take a different path, and without good reading, and I don't know if that was proper, my reading was terrible. I was in the back of the class and on a path to go a different direction, and somewhere it changed, but reading is so fundamental.
So in a day and in an era when we see so many stories that have kind of a negative connotation, this is definitely one of those good stories out there. Brad, Elizabeth, Heather, thank you so much. Once again, Claire's Day comes up May 18th, Saturday. Pretty much an all-day thing out there at the Maumee Library, the Toledo Public Library branch. Thank you so much. We'll see you out there. Stay right there. We'll wrap things up for this Sunday right after this.